Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Sheikh,
Alaikum
my
salam.
question is that in light of the current events in France, especially, we all love our Prophet and we respect him, and we are hurt when such things happen. But looking at the seerah of the Prophet, he forgave a lot of people who did bad to him. So, how would you guide us how we should react in such scenarios, and what we can learn from his life, and how our Sahaba and other Salaf basically reacted to such situations?
Okay,
Jazakallah khair.
it is very important question actually, and very important issue. It's not the first time this happened. Um, Before I answer that question, um, regarding the incident, look at the result of the reaction. Okay, somebody insulted the Prophet. Someone uh, make a character, okay, uh, pictures of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that person, very recent one, he became beheaded by a Muslim youth. Okay. Now the result of that, what did it bring? It brought actually more harm, more hardship against Muslim. Okay, I mean, I've seen videos like we shouldn't publish this stuff. Okay, but I have seen videos. The reaction of the Muslim brought actually more reaction from the authorities in France. Okay, it led them to insult Islam even more. It led them to attach themselves to their false freedom, if you like, more. And also, what I've seen, like the French police, they gone into some masjid, okay, and they threaten, okay, on the Muslim, they try to arrest him all and what have you. So look at the result. What did it bring? It has not brought anything. We haven't seen anything that is good. It happened before a few years ago, okay, and when they killed more than one person, okay, and that again, what did they bring? They do it again, and they'll do it again. So bear that in mind. Now go back to the seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yes, Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, he was insulted quite a lot in his time by his own family, his uncle Abu Lahab, for example, okay, Abu Jahl, and so on. Uh, uh, the, uh, can you imagine? Not only he was insulted in words, in action when they brought the stomach of a camel, and they put it, intestine of camel and put it on him while he was doing his sujood. It's only his wife, sorry, it was only his daughter Fatima, alayhi salam. She went and removed it, and so on. And he was insulted. He was accused of being sha'ir. It means being a poet, and uh, uh, and so on. نعم. So what did he do? As Allah told him, أعرض عن الجاهلين, turn away from the ignorant. Okay. But what happened after that when Islam was established? It became a very heavy sinful act, excusable act, if somebody insulted the Prophet. Okay. And in his time, when somebody heard the Prophet was insulted, okay, uh, he, uh, he got executed. Like, and the Prophet did not say anything against it. Okay, that's in his time when Islam was established and so on. We have an example. That's one. We have another example. Abu Huraira, radiallahu anhu. We all know who is Abu Huraira. Okay, the transmitter of thousands of hadith, the one who kept in company of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not like no other companions has done. Abu Huraira's wife, sorry, Abu Huraira's mom was not a Muslim at the time, and she was always insulting the Prophet. Whenever Abu Huraira came to the masjid, she, oh, we'll be going to your so and so. Okay, what did you so and so say today? And always insulting. And Abu Huraira, he got so agitated, like, and he went to the Prophet. He said, "Oh, Prophet," he said, "my mom insulted so much, and I'm about to kill her. I feel like killing her. So please make dua for my mom." So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he make dua that Allah will give guidance to Abu Huraira's mom. That same day, Abu Huraira went back home, and he heard his mom saying Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, and he went in as she was doing her wudu, okay, and she asked him how we do salah, and she started praying. Immediately, Abu Huraira's mom became guided. Okay. And then when he went back to the Prophet again, he told him the glad tidings, my mom become Muslim and she loves you. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, make dua that, oh Allah, make people love Abu Huraira and his mom. And now we all say Abu Huraira, we all say radiallahu anhu. Everybody love Abu Huraira, and so on. So we have that. Okay. Which one do we take? Okay. In إن الله يحب المحسنين. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَأَحْسِنُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ, and do righteous deed. Allah love those who do righteous deed. So we have to do what is right, okay, for the time of the situation, for the right, what is right for the place, and what is right for the situation. You cannot apply one rule. For example, let's say, for example, you have to drive on the right hand side. Okay, that is the law. And then you go to some countries, and you find the road is narrow, just only wide enough for one car, or one and a half, one a little, and one third of a car. So where do you drive now? You do what's appropriate. Okay? You can't stay on your in a lane and hit anybody who come in your way, for example. So you have to adjust. So what I'm saying is, we need to adjust rules according to the situation and the place. Places like France, what people should be concentrated on. Sometimes, unfortunately, people think, oh, they get agitated for the insult of Muhammad, but yet they don't pray. They get agitated if somebody insults Muhammad, they don't have a beard. قل إن كنتم تحبون الله فاتبعوني يحببكم الله. Say, if you love Allah, then follow me, Allah will love you. So you'll find most people who go out and make a lot of noise, and that they themselves actually are not following Islam properly. And that takes priority in that situation. What also takes priority in places like where Islam is not established, okay, it is ruled by non-Muslim. France, England, USA, whatever, okay, most of the world is ruled by non-Muslim. Okay. What goes in there, how we behave in there, is different to the way we behave. There are things, for example, that I will do, for example, in my birthplace, okay, that in here maybe it's not too appropriate, okay, and so on. Things that I could say that maybe in here I shouldn't say, and so on. So we have to do what's appropriate, okay? And what's appropriate in France is to establish dawah to start with. This will have more effect. This Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam would love it even more. Now, if people actually Muslim, if they behaved all like good Muslim, that is the best dawah. I said that before years ago in Saturn. The best form of dawah is our behavior. When you see Muslim, for example, not behaving as per the Quran and the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, turning people away from Islam by their behavior, what do you expect? I was once talking to one of my cousins who is a big da'iyah and a big sheikh about what people get up to, like the kuffar. He said, do you blame them? Because they only judge by what they see. They don't see the real stuff. So it became our duty to show them what is the real Islam. Okay. That's what Muslim people should be doing in France, in England, and so on. That is more effective. Now, if beheading the person in France, if that worked for Islam, then it should have produced good result. It hasn't. Okay. So the more appropriate act actually is not to even talk about it to me. Okay. Maybe some people don't agree with me. The more appropriate act is not to talk about it to anybody, to ignore it completely. Okay. And pretend it doesn't, nothing has happened. Okay. And then that people who want to insult Muhammad, they will start end up eating themselves actually, because the Muslims are not reacting. What they try to do, they always try to make us reactive, and Muslims are becoming a reactive creatures. Okay, to borrow the expression, you press the button and jumps. Okay, you know that game they used to have on the table, like where you push a ball, something, then jumping jacks everywhere. That's what we're coming like, you know, jumping jacks. Okay, we should behave more appropriate, especially in the West. Okay, if we don't like what we really default, Muslims should believe in the West. Now, what happened now if we want to do a protest? Number one, mudaharat, this going out in demonstration, that is actually a bid'ah. Okay, that is a bid'ah. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not do it. He did not recommend it. He did not order it. Neither his Sahaba. Okay, so we don't do that. We Muawiyah alayhi salam, you know, Muawiyah. Okay, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he talked about him that he is one of the men who Allah gave wisdom to Muawiyah. He said, one of the things that he said, that it is better for a Muslim to do nothing than to do something that he doesn't know the reaction to. He doesn't know the result of. If I'm not doing anything, if I, you know, I don't do anything, I'm not maybe causing harm to anybody, and maybe I'm not benefiting anybody. But if I'm going to do an act that I don't know the consequences of that, then I may end up harming people or maybe benefiting people. So what Muawiyah is saying, it's better for you not to do anything than to do something that you don't know the result of, that you don't know the consequences of the action. And we see the consequences of this time and time and time again. When the war of Iraq, for example, was happening, and people coming out in demonstrations and what have you, I got a phone call from the chief of the police. Okay, are we going on these demonstrations? Yeah, because if you are, then because they need to facilitate that for us and what have you, okay, because of the freedom. I said, no, we don't do stuff like that. He said, oh, that's interesting. I said, we only do something useful. So what I said in my khutbah, if you want to do something useful, okay, if all Muslim in the West, in England, if all Muslim here, they say we're going to down tool for 1 week, then believe me, England will go on its knees, because the hospitals are run by Muslim. The majority of doctors and surgeons are Muslim. You go to any hospital and you will see it. The majority of nurses are Muslim. The majority of university teachers are Muslim. The majority of dentists are Muslim. The majority of school teachers now are Muslim. The majority of bus drivers are Muslim. So much so, actually, one of my friends, he's a bus driver. When he used to take time for Eid, his manager said to, when if I'm going to give all Muslim time to go Eid, they be no the buses will stop because there's no drivers other than Muslim. So if all Muslims say, okay, we get down tool until you hear our until justice for Muslim, then what will happen? That will stop. That is more effective. So if Muslim become one unit and agree to do something peaceful and more effective, you get better result, in my opinion. And please, that is my opinion. Maybe other people don't agree with me, okay? But I'm not a one who go for shouting and screaming for nothing about nothing. Okay, I'm one who say we should do something more effective in a peaceful way. Okay, and the best way actually is to invite to Islam. وَادْعُ إِلَى سَبِيلِ رَبِّكَ بِالْحِكْمَةِ وَالْمَوْعِظَةِ الْحَسَنَةِ وَجَادِلْهُمْ بِالَّتِي أَحْسَنُ. And invite to your Lord, to the way of your Lord, بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة, by using wisdom and better a punishment, okay, better موعظة, admonishment, sorry, okay, better admonishment, admonishment, excuse my English. So when you give a better admonishment, better advice, okay, الموعظة الحسنة, وجادلهم بالتي هي أحسن, and if you argue with them, argue with the better one, okay. وادفع بالسيئة الحسنة فإذا الذي بينك وبينه عداوة كأنه ولي حميم. Rebel bad with good, so that maybe the one who there's enmity between you and him will become a sincere friend. Okay, that's what I would say about it. I hope that answered the question. Okay, but if not, please let me know. Is that okay, brother Farhan?
No, Sheikh, Jazakallah khair. That's very useful. Alhamdulillah. That's very good.
Alhamdulillah, barakallah bikum.